So welcome back to part 2 of the frequently asked questions video that we're putting together for you. I hope that this will answer some more of the queries that you might have and be helpful for you. So a number of our applicants are likely to have experienced some educational disruption at some point during their time at secondary or primary school. And we really encourage students to tell us if this is the case. So this could be that you've lost a close family member, for example, or due to ill health, you've had to miss a significant chunk of school, or anything else that might have had an adverse effect on the grades that you've achieved or that you're predicted to achieve. It's really important that you do tell us, because it enables us to build a much more comprehensive picture about you as an individual, to understand your application better and to enable us to be really fair when we're considering your application. There are a number of ways that you can tell us. So the university has got an extenuating circumstances form that you can complete. Alternatively, you're very welcome to email or phone the college that you've applied to let them know about your particular circumstance. And of course, that's something that we'd always be very happy to consider. So most students who choose to apply to Cambridge choose to apply directly to a college. You don't have to. You can submit an open application if you'd rather, and it's absolutely fine if you do choose to do that. If you do submit an open application, then you apply to the university, and the university will then allocate you to a college. At the point at which you're allocated to a college, it's as though you applied to them directly. They'll take your application forward from there and take you through the next steps of the process. But like I said, most students do choose to apply directly to a college. And if that's something that you decide that you want to do, then there are a few things to consider to help you make your college choice. So the first thing to think about is the atmosphere of the college. Obviously, every one of the Cambridge colleges are different, so they do have slightly different atmospheres. Now, this may vary according to various different factors. So age, for example, might be one of them. Some of the colleges are much newer than others, and some of them are much closer to the city centre, some are closer to the departments, some are bigger than others, either with regard to their physical footprint or with regard to the number of students that they admit. And obviously, all of these different things are going to mean that the atmosphere of the college is different from one college to the next. Of course, it's a personal decision as to what atmosphere would suit you the best and that you would feel most comfortable in, but this is definitely something that's worth considering. The other thing to think about are the facilities that are on offer. So all colleges have got facilities such as libraries, obviously bedrooms, dining facilities and other things like that, but there will be some variation as well. So some of the colleges, for example, might have a dark room, or they might have a squash court on site, or they might have an outdoor swimming pool. And if there's something, or if there's a facility that's particularly important for you to have close by, then that might be something that's worth thinking about when trying to make your college choice as well. The other thing that's worth mentioning is that this isn't something that you should be losing sleep over. About 20 to 25% of the students who apply to Cambridge and who go on to receive an offer ultimately get an offer through the winter pool process, which I answer elsewhere in this video. And that means that they get an offer from a college that's different to the one that they applied to originally. So whilst college choice might be an important decision, it's not something that you should stress about too much. The other thing that's worth mentioning when thinking about the college that you choose to apply to is that the colleges themselves don't specialise in different subjects. So when you come to Cambridge, then the departments will do the majority of your teaching, and students from all the different colleges will go along to your lectures. And then the university awards your degree at the end of your course. And in fact, the only teaching that takes place in colleges are the supervisions. And even with those, if you may end up having supervisions in a college other than the one that you're studying at. So college choice really shouldn't be based at all on the subject that you're applying to, but rather based on the college that you feel would fit you best and that you'd be most comfortable at. I mentioned open applications when I was discussing how to choose a college, and it's important to note that if you do decide to submit an open application, it doesn't affect your chances of receiving an offer from the university. It just means that you're allocated to a college and that they take your application forward from there. Am I able to take a gap year? Now, the short answer to this is yes, you are able to take a gap year, but it's quite helpful for you to have an idea about what it is that you'd like to do during that time. You can either apply for deferred entry, so apply during your final year of school, or you can apply during your gap year, and we really don't mind which. What you do during that period is entirely up to you as well. It may be that you want to work to save some money or travel or do something else that you're interested in, and all of that is absolutely fine. It is important though that you keep up with your subjects during that time, during that gap year, and so make sure that you're up to date with any developments that might take place. Make sure that you're keeping practicing the skills that are relevant to the subjects that you're going to be studying.